Some people say that human existence is a result of a roll of the cosmic dice. Like the gambler who stakes his life savings on the next throw, we just got lucky in the lottery of life.
I think we are here as a result of largely deterministic processes. I see no reason to believe that the constants the universe has, which make life possible, are free to vary, so I don't believe we got lucky in that regard.
Some people say there's no purpose in the universe, no grand plan, no God behind it all. Our numbers just came up and here we are.
I neither believe that there was a plan, nor do I believe that everything is just random. It's a common assumption among apologists that the default state of reality is chaos and non-randomness can only exist if there is a mind who put things in order. This is a baseless assumption.
How long would I have to stand here, rolling this dice, allowing about 5 seconds per roll, before hitting that lucky streak and rolling 76s in a row? Well, I had a mathematician friend work it out for me. On average, you would have to continually roll this dice for 100 trillion, 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 trillion years before your numbers come up. That's a long time. What if you applied that thinking to us? What are the odds of us being here? Now, the odds of rolling 76s in a row, 1 in 10 to the 55, as it happens, those are the same odds of something called the expansion rate of the universe being just right for the existence of us here today.
We don't know that to be the case. The number of other conceivable expansion rates is 10 to the 55th power, but the fact that those expansion rates are conceivable does not mean that they are possible or even probable. We don't know for sure that this constant is free to vary. In fact, the idea that our universe would be severely improbable if this constant were free to vary is good evidence that it isn't free to vary. Another possibility is that there are enough universes in the multiverse to make this constant probable. Of course, we have no proof that the constant is invariable, nor do we have proof of a multiverse. However, both of these hypotheses are more probable than the God hypothesis because they, at least, don't include the idea of a timeless, spaceless, disembodied mind, which is not even discernibly coherent.
From the moment of the Big Bang, when our universe began to rapidly expand, the rate of that expansion was exquisitely finely balanced. Any faster, and the universe would have expanded too rapidly to allow the formation of chemicals, atoms, stars, and galaxies. Any slower, and the universe would have collapsed back in on itself. But as it happens, the universe expanded at just the right rate to allow for life to develop in the future, for us to be here. It hit 70 rolls of the number 6 in a row, first time. And the expansion rate of the universe is just one among 30 or so other incredibly sensitively finely tuned constants and fundamental forces in the universe that must be just the way they are for the universe to be able to produce us.
The universe, however, is not an all-powerful God. The fine-tuning argument is really an argument against the existence of an all-powerful God. An all-powerful God wouldn't need to finely tune a universe to create sentient beings. Shit, we are told that Yahweh himself is a sentient being who can exist without a universe at all, whatever that's supposed to mean. If a sentient being doesn't need any universe to exist, why would sentient beings need a finely tuned universe? A dodge that some apologists use is that the universe isn't really finely tuned for life, rather it is finely tuned for a God's preferences. However, because we don't know what those preferences are, this is an entirely non-falsifiable assertion.
So let's imagine, if I went ahead and rolled this dice 70 times, and what do you know, every time it came up 6. No waiting for trillions upon trillions of years, first time. Beginner's luck? Hardly. You would assume that I must have rigged it. Maybe the dice are loaded, maybe there are 6s on every side. It can't be chance. Now let me ask you, why would we assume that this universe with us in it, which is actually way more improbable than my 70 rolls, is just a result of chance? The fact that we're here shows that someone's loaded the dice. In fact, maybe there's no dice at all. What if the evidence points to this life-permitting universe actually being the product of an intelligent mind which intended for us to be here? Now, you could come up with some speculative other theory. Maybe there's an infinite number of universes, giving you an infinite number of chances to roll the dice. Maybe. But we don't have any scientific evidence for it. So if you're hanging your hat on that possibility, then you're every bit as much committed to a faith position as the person who says God was behind it.
No, I'm not, because I'm inferring that coherent hypotheses are more probable than incoherent ones. Such an inference is not just as much a faith position. To everyone who helps me out on Patreon, you're a big help. Thanks so much.